Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Radical Geek live stream. Good to see so many people here. Let's see who we've got on. Of course, we've got Carrie here. He has the air conditioning. Woo! And Lisa's here. Hope she doesn't fall asleep. Oh, yeah, exhausted from all that lawn mowing I remember you saying earlier. Let's see. So we hope you do get to stay up and you're here. So Sharon is here. Been a whirlwind weekend. Me too. We'll talk about it in a little while. Let's see. And Attila, our awesome moderator. Let's see. 22Q Cat. Awesome. Let's see. And Air Fried Annie, our other amazing moderator. So let's see. Just Jen Delaney. Nice to see you is here. Oh, made birthday cake keto chow ice cream sandwiches. That sounds amazing. And oh, a happy Father's Day from Sherry Quackenbush. And also, welcome to the live stream. Gigi's here, and Jennifer's here tonight. Wow. Oh, the warden. Oh, good. You have sound. Glad to hear it. So, let's see. And Heath is here. Hey, yo. Goodness. Anyways, I can't say that we'll have, like, the best quality ever tonight because, like everyone else, I am fried. We went to Pride yesterday, and, always when you're a part of the organization, or in this case, like Attila drove a car for the group that we are a part of, and so we have to get there stupid early before the roads start closing down to get set up and situated. So we were up bright and early and out the door and actually downtown being active by 7 o'clock in the morning. And of course then you broil outside in the sunshine. So, but let's get started. Like I said, it's going to be a day, but, oh, hey, thanks, Air Friend Annie, said she likes my hair swoop. Yeah, I finally got it all shorn, which I really needed bad. Okay, focus, Maitreya. It's so hard to focus because I am tired. At any rate, in the Keto Crate, we switched from doing a pizza tonight because we got this in the Keto Crate. This is the King Arthur chocolate cake mix. So I read it in the Keto Crate breakdown, but just so you know, we've got here, hey Mike Sandy, nice to see you. The ingredients are erythritol. I mean, it's a cake. It's going to be full of sweetener. I kind of would have liked if chocolate were first, but whatever. So let's see. Hungry, he says, wake up, and I'm just saying, I don't even think that my mocha tonight is going to do it. I could have gone to bed about 4 o'clock. Anyway, so erythritol, organic coconut flour, natural cocoa, cellulose, and cocoa processed with alkali. That's normal. That makes it dark cocoa powder. Cellulose and psyllium fiber blend, egg whites, natural flavor, and baking powder. And then they go on and describe the baking powder is made from baking soda, calcium acid phosphate, monocalcium phosphate, and then there's salt, stevioglycosides, and xanthan gum. So really, the only questionable ingredient would be the cellulose, because some people get kind of worked up about it, but I have zero issues with that. Yeah, it is Dyson sitting over there. I'm not sure what he's doing, but he can't have nothing tonight because, let's get this open. Well, because he cannot have chocolate. Dogs can't have chocolate. So, you know, hopeful looks for nothing. So let me get rid of the box. Get the bag of the mix open. Now, let's talk about the instructions. It needs 4 eggs. So I've got 4 eggs. I'm going to dump this in. There's our mix. It asks for half a cup of vegetable oil. You know, we don't do vegetable oil. I have avocado oil. Fruit oil, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, avocado oil. Half cup of avocado oil. I didn't get all my ingredients out of the fridge. Hang tight. We'll just throw this away. The next ingredient that it asks for is for 1 cup of almond milk or 1 cup of water. Not following instructions, because I have, what I actually did was, like, remember when I talked about faking the milk by doing half heavy cream and half water. That's what I've done. So that's what we're going to use in our mix. And before I spend time stirring this up and scooping it out, I'm going to turn on the air fryer. It has a bake mode, which makes it a convection oven. And as you might recall, when you do convection baking, you lower the temperature by 25 degrees, and most of the time you shorten the cook time by 5 or 6 minutes. If you're baking it in the oven, it's 375, and for cupcakes, 20 to 24 minutes. I'm going to put the whole 24 minutes on the air fryer, but we're going to just check it a few times along the way. And then we'll just go from there. But I will be preheating to 350. So let me get that going. Bake, 350, 24 minutes. And I'm going to do one more thing to modify this. I know, I feel like if we're reviewing, but I'm going to put 1 teaspoon of espresso powder. I add espresso powder to all of the things that I make that are chocolate because I feel that it brings out the chocolate better, a bit more. Hey there, Renee. Oh, prepping some baby back ribs. Nice. Yeah, I agree. Tutu Q Cat says, nice seeing all the cruisers back. Oh, yeah. Well, you were definitely missed. We had a good time without you, but it wasn't the same. So let's get this cake mixed. I have to say, it smells nice. You know, pre-keto, I was not big on box mixes, and I would have been like, make it homemade. And that's still probably the best answer, but you know, sometimes you need something, or even if you don't need it, you just want something that's slightly more convenient. So that's where I'm at. I'm like, this has potential. I am really hoping, because how nice would that be to actually have a nice product. And if you're wondering what this is over here, we'll get to it with the mocha. Ooh, I'm sorry to hear that, Carrie. Carrie's sharing with us that he's had a very bad back spasm today at church, but it feels better now. Good. So let's see. Oh, and a Hungry Heath is suggesting Texas 5 spice in there. You know, I like the idea of spice in the chocolate cake, but I like Texas 5 spice on meats. And I think that if I were to put a spice into this, that I would go with a chili flake or a little bit of a chili powder. Just straight up chili powder, because of all of the sweeteners and other things that are in there. The other thing that I might be willing to consider adding would be a cardamom. But other than my espresso powder and the avocado oil instead of vegetable oil, I'm trying to stay within the confines of the recipe. Okay, we're still preheating, so I don't have to worry. All right, so you can see it mixes up real nice though. It's actually, it kind of reminds me of like brownie batter. It's really thick. So it's good. I'm using my silicone pan, and oh, whoops. Hang on a second. Carrie, you don't have to apologize for comments. It's all good here. All right. Let's get rid of these because they are just to open the package. Make some space here. So I have my silicone cupcake pan. I want you to know that on the package, they talk a lot about, for cupcakes, use greased paper liners in the pan. If you don't have parchment, grease bottom of the pans, then coat with 1 to 2 teaspoons of cake mix or flour. So they seem to be really worried about sticking. So while normally I wouldn't grease silicone because you don't normally need to, I went ahead and I took a dab of butter and rubbed it down just in case. So let's go ahead and scoop these in and make ourselves our 12 cupcakes. Get this out of the way so you can actually see me scooping. I don't know if it matters if you see me scooping, like whatever. I don't know if I'm really getting 12 out of these, but we'll see. We'll see. That was a small. I'm trying to make them all relatively close to the same size. Not sure I'm succeeding, but we can go back in if there's some leftover batter and fill in the cracks here. Oh, TutuQCat got the Goals chocolates. I did too. They just came, and we broke into them right away. I sort of filmed a review, but it was really disrupted by work and stuff, so I don't know if I'll actually post it. I'm just going to tell you that I thought they were fantastic. And thanks, Keto Indie Meetup. I know it was a drawing that I won, but really still, that's some quality swag. Them Goals chocolates are expensive, and also, like I said, they were just really good. I'm going to hit the ones that were a little smaller to even out the batter distribution. So yeah, like I said, this is really thick. I feel like this is brownie batter thick. So it'll be interesting to see how it comes out as cake. But you know what? Coconut flour does tend to bake up really nice. And you got to be really careful that it's got enough liquid. And as thick as this is, it doesn't seem dry. So I think that's super important. All right. Let's see. Actually, they're all looking pretty good. Let's hit this last one. The last of the batter. Get in there. We don't want to be wasteful. All right. And it just clicked over. So let me go ahead and put this into the oven to bake. I mean, it's a cake mix, so it didn't take long and it wasn't real elaborate. So I just wanted to get that in so that we have plenty of time. So let's get the rest of this started, right? I have some ice here, but here's what we're gonna do. Oh, hey Rocky Mountain Girl, welcome. And yeah, Goals chocolate, they really hit the internet really recently, and they really went all out. So yeah, I don't know, they hit it out of the park. They're delicious. So what I have here is I have a homemade chocolate sauce. You can make chocolate sauce. There's tons and tons of recipes. For me, I take and I put the ingredients in the list in the description. Oh, and TutuQCat says if the cupcakes turn out more like brownies, she won't be disappointed. You know, true. That sounds good. Anyway, so the chocolate sauce, I did half and half black cocoa powder and dark cocoa powder. Unsweetened, of course, but you have to mix it with a whole cup of allulose. So it's a lot, but you don't use a ton of chocolate sauce all at once. Well, you might, but if you ate all of this chocolate sauce in one go, you'll probably have some tummy issues. But it's a whole cup of allulose. And then you have a half cup water. You bring it to a boil while you're whisking it all together. And then you turn the heat down and you simmer it for another 2 to 3 minutes. And boom, chocolate sauce. I've had it on the counter, so it's nice and thin and pourable. Not too thin. But once you put it into the refrigerator, you can warm it back up because it will get really thick. But you can see. I'll bring this to the camera so you can see it up close. It is so lovely and glossy. At least I think I'm going to bring it to the camera. I have no idea if that was effective or not, but I hope so. I hope it looked good. Okay, Carrie says the chocolate sauce did look good. He doesn't have chocolate anymore because of his caffeine intolerance. So I've got my beaker, and I'm going to take sauce and pour it in here. Just a couple spoons, because we're going to brew our espresso right on top of it. So, and before I get rid of this, we're going to do one more thing. Is we're going to take our glass and we're going to prep our milk portion. So I'm going to just take this and I'm going to put some of the sauce onto my little brush here. And we're going to go right into the cup and give it a couple swirls. You don't need to be too crazy, but I like to have the cup a little bit lined. Just dip it right in there. There we go. Just to get that all the way through the chocolate. You just a little brush on the chocolate. Oh, and Carrie says he was a dark chocolate fan, and Brenda said it did make her want some. So we're gonna do this. We've got our lined cup. Now I'm gonna add my ice because we're making an iced mocha, and our milk. I say milk, but again, it's the same thing, that 50-50 mix. We might top some more off on it, but I want to make sure I have enough room for my brewed espresso. And this is the part where, as we do this, as you recall, when we turn it on, it makes the sound go crazy. So we'll just have to be noisy for a minute, and it won't last long. It makes everything crazy, but we love our espressos, don't we? And it's just Bustelo. So the same espressos we have always made. So let me just get this and tidy it back up. Oh, Carrie says I need 4 shots of espresso. That's a morning dose. At night we're just gonna do a double shot. So, oh no. Oh, that's very strong. Maybe I shouldn't have licked the spoon like that. But now, it just goes back just goes to the fridge. So you can see that chocolate sauce there's a ton of it. I don't know what we're gonna do with it, but I'm sure it'll get used. We'll have coffee mochas for days, I suppose. But the nice thing is that it lasts for quite some time in the fridge. So we're good. All right. Here's for the noise. Sorry, folks. So I see that Carrie says he did 2 shots in one sitting when he was working in the mall and Walmart, and it gave him quite the buzz. I bet it did. Oh, look, it's happening, and it smells so good. And it's almost done. Oh. So there we go. It wasn't too bad on the noise. I just, you know how I hate that, and I know you guys always say it's not that big a deal. It distorts for a few minutes and then it's fine. Oh, 12 shots. Oh my gosh, 12 shots, Carrie. I probably would have had a heart incident. I don't think I could do 12 shots, and I'm pretty hardcore. Oh, goodness. So, let me get a knife out for testing them cupcakes. And a plate for when they're ready. So, hurry up, espresso. So, oh, and Rocky Mountain Girl only got a few minutes because dinner's almost done. Well, dinner sounds delightful though, so I'm glad for that. And of course, there's always replay. Hit the like button on your way out so that we have that. Oh, and TutuQCat says not noisy because everything has to compare to the creamy, which sounds like a jackhammer. That's true. And Brenda mentions that perhaps the chocolate would be good added to whipped cream. Yeah, I almost thought about that, about making like a chocolate whipped cream with a little bit of the chocolate sauce, but ultimately decided that I was just going to try the cake as is. Oh, hey, Visual Keto, welcome. And Visual Keto says she likes her Venti Americano with 5 shots in the morning. Yeah, I like I think I do if I'm doing an Americano, I like to do like 3. But if I'm just having a straight up espresso, it's just a regular double shot. So, all right. So, we've got here our espresso and our chocolate sauce. We're going to give that a mix. Sometimes people don't mix it, and I'm like, well, what's the point then? You almost didn't actually make the mocha, because it just stays in there with your espresso. Sometimes people brew it right into the cup too, and I think that the pour is essential because you want it to mix into your milk. But get our crema, because that's a deliciousness. And just top it off with a little bit more of the milk. And you guys, that's all there is to the iced mocha. You need to stick this in the fridge. So there we go. And now we have to wait for cupcakes. Oh! But let's give it a taste, shall we? And then we'll talk about the history and all of the fun, nerdy things. It's nice. It's not too sweet because of the milk and the while the mocha sauce all by itself was way too sweet, but yeah, you know what? Carrie says that James Hoffman was talking about scooping the crema with 2 spoons method because the crema was bitter. So in some, yes, he's right that the crema can be bitter, but it's not always bitter, and in this case it blends real nicely with the mocha, and it does a good job of they mellow each other out. So it's a difference, but the nicety is that the mocha sauce is already super sweet, so you don't need to add sweetener. If you want it to be like Starbucks-y mocha, then you need to add sweetener because it's not nearly that sweet. So I prefer not, being someone who normally drinks a plain black coffee. And yes, we'll be talking about mocha history. That's the next bit of talking points. Just Jen Delaney is asking if I know the history of mocha. So, and that is where we're going to talk about the fact that today, what we call a mocha is unrelated to a mocha coffee. The original. However, when you don't make it all full of sugar, the flavor profile can resemble the original. The original goes back to actually the very, very, very original coffee. Hey, it's crowded. I'm going to move this back out a little bit, and so I say, but oh, it doesn't want to slide. Give me some room on the counter. There we go. Anyways, about 1500 is when coffee was more or less first discovered in Yemen. Oh, Carrie, you're giving away my talking points. So, but yes, Carrie's right on it. The beans were imported from Mocha, Yemeni port city. So, hey, good night, Cindy. I'm glad you got to join us for a little while. Enjoy dinner. But yeah, anyways, so it came from Yemeni. In fact, this is basically where they feel coffee was likely discovered. And they did a lot of iterations. They're again, we're back to military. Their soldiers and their officials and their royalty would get tired in the day, and one day they tried these beans off of the tree. I'm just joking, Carrie. It's okay when you spoil it. It often helps me focus. I love that you have good knowledge to share. But so anyways, they're in Yemeni. They try these, and not great, but and definitely raw was not good. Very, very, very bitter. Green coffee beans are not good. a lot of people do say that coffee originated in Ethiopia, but really, Yemeni is the origins of coffee, and actually the port city of Mocha. So hence Mocha Coffee. Once they started cooking the beans and steeping it in the water, they were getting the brown water, and they would drink it. Not only did it have like a rich, deep coffee, chocolatey flavor, they found it gave them more energy, and it also was an appetite suppressant. So they didn't drink it. So they started drinking it after their meals, so that they had all of their nutrition, and then they had an energy boost and could go for long periods of time without eating. But they would eat before the coffee so that they had all of the nutrition they needed to function throughout the day. Let's see. Oh, and Renee says when she's traveling on vacation, she will opt for some sweetener coffee treats, sugar-free, but on the daily grind prefers less sweet. Yeah, I love a special treat at time. And in fact, on Wednesday when we had the Origins Game Fair, you can bet a couple times I'm going to have coffee treats. And I look forward to it. Especially because despite the fact that I have 9 million coffee devices, I'm probably not going to take one, and I'm going to be surviving on Keurig coffee in the room. So, yeah, that's the face I'm going to make. Also, the hotel we're staying at is like super stingy with the pods, so you have to like beg them like 7 times a day to get enough coffee. But we'll manage. We'll do it. But that does also mean that I might hit the coffee shop in there, because if you have your own cup, I believe like to fill up your own to-go thermos and stuff is only like $1.25. So I'll survive. And Jennifer says she was surprised to read that slaves in America boiled charred corn for a coffee like. Oh, I didn't finish reading it. Sorry, Jennifer, if you didn't mean to have that read out loud. But yeah, there are lots of different ways that people have treated different grains, different backgrounds, different places. Let's see. I'm going to check the cupcakes real quick. Hi. I almost stepped on the dog. So, oh. And I'm super glad that I've checked the cupcakes, because they are done. So in the convection oven, they took 20, has it been 20 minutes? No, like only like 15 to 18 minutes. Hang on, I gotta get a pair of tongs to slide, well actually that's to slide this off. Everything, I'm a mess. I told you guys. Give me a minute to put my head together and think. Okay. There we go. Anyways, you can see they're very fluffy. They do look like brownies. Let me get one out of here and put it on the plate and take it so you can see. And when it cools, but it lifts right out. Let me bring it around and show you guys. There you go. And you can see that the bottom half looks a little lighter and the top half is darker. Oops. There we go. I had to try and peek around the screen. So let's set these here so they can cool. Try to pay attention a little bit of both. Ooh, hot. Yes, more Dyson sightings. He is all over this today. Let's see. And everybody agrees they look good. So we'll just get them here to cool and put everything nicely. And I did get 12 relatively similarly sized cupcakes. So I just need them to cool down enough so that we can cut one open. And put that in the sink. Put my rack back. right. I think they look nice. They're a little bit weirdly shapen, so duly noted. They are hot. Yes, they are. I was, in fact, burning my fingers. I think that you might maybe want to smooth them a little bit, because you can see this one that's a little smaller. I smoothed it a little bit more when we were putting it in there, whereas this one where I added, the addition actually had like a little lump on top. So, all right, duly noted. Let's see. What do we got here? Oh, Hungry Heath, you finally hit the lotto. Did you win $2? See, oh, we're all making the same joke. But if you actually hit like the big Powerball, you just let me know. I want you to know that I am an excellent personal assistant. So let's see. Oh, Sharon says, did you use the tomahawk steak to hit it? Anyways, back to the history on the mocha. So anyways, so they're making this coffee. It's out of the mocha port, hence Mocha Coffee. However, and they were known as basically the best, the absolute best in the world. And absolutely delicious, but it was kept to Yemeni. It was not sent out, that kind of thing wasn't happening. And they held on to that for a really long time. It wasn't until the mid-1700s when the Portuguese were invading, and they stole the coffee and then took it, and as it grew, it began to spread. And as it began to spread, we've talked about histories of coffees in a lot of parts of the world, where they began to do more additions and additives and things like that. And as time changed, by the time it got to the United States in the late 1800s, we were very big on chocolate, and as you know, here in the United States, sugar is huge, and so the sweetening and sugaring, because as the coffee beans spread, also their quality and taste changed. So the original coffee out of Yemeni is still very rare and extraordinarily delicious and smooth. The regional growth of coffee changes your coffee experience. So, and Carrie says that sometimes it's even said that Hawaii had coffee as well. Yes and no, but not until later. It's hard to say. Also a lot of this stuff that comes out of history books and history lessons, with a great grain of salt, because you never know where some of these came from, and history is basically a storytelling, and so people are prone to all people their own narratives. I'm inclined to think that coffee beans, just like other plants, could have been transplanted in multiple regions, but there's no denying that if you can actually ever afford original historical blend Yemeni mocha coffee beans, you have to win the lotto to get it. But oh my God, amazing. It is not the same. So I gotta say, their story gets a little more credence with me simply by their absolute deliciousness. Recycle. So there is that. I just don't know. Oh, and Jennifer says she could use a personal assistance for exchange for the free room and board at her Taj Mahal, aka the double wide. I think that's a good offer for some people. Let's see. Oh, and Rickwin says if Heath won enough, he could buy the boat for us to cruise. That's true. We could build our own keto commune on a cruise ship. Of course, we'd all have to work real hard to keep that going. So let's see. So, but that's the history. And as you know, we've developed chocolate syrup. And so, of course, today's mocha, while excellently delicious, has zero resemblance to the original mocha coffee out of Yemen. But other than the fact that the description of original Yemeni coffee is rich and chocolatey. Hungry He says, all aboard with the Hungry Horde. Sounds fantastic. That's a great slogan. Put it together. I'm all in. And Carrie reminds us too that the seeds over in Yemen and Ethiopia were not cheap for the green seeds. That's very true. Like I said, you got to take out a second mortgage to get a cup. Definitely not sad. All right, let's take a cake and cut it and take a look at the inside. I had a knife and I don't know what I did with it. Threw it in the sink, I think. That's okay, we have more. So a little piece of it crumbled. Ooh, there's a lot of steam coming off of it. So I'm going to bring this around and show you the interior. I don't know if it shows on the camera, but you can kind of see the flax seed or the psyllium husk, which they do say it has, so that's not a surprise. So it's definitely cake versus brownie, but it's very dense for a cake, as opposed to light and fluffy. Not in a bad way. And when you tear it apart, so I don't know, cake brownies? It smells good. The texture is fine. Needs more chocolate flavor somehow, which is weird, but the texture is great. And I'll be honest, I think I would buy this cake mix. I think I might buy this cake mix and use it for my birthday cake, and then just put like a real bright filling in it, like a raspberry, a homemade raspberry jam. I think the tart would really play off it well, especially if I add like a stabilized whipped cream. And absolutely, Hungry Heath, best way to dry crumbly cake is to add some ice cream. You know, it looked dry at first, but when I eat it, it's not. It's not choky. Oh, Sharon says birthday cake creamy. Oh, that might be a good idea. Except for one thing, and that is that I'm at a picnic for our birthday. We have our great big picnic on July 2nd, which, by the way, if any of you are local and you want to come, you're welcome. Everybody can come to the big gay picnic as long as, you know, you don't hate gay people. So, I mean, if you don't like gay people, then you're probably not welcome and you wouldn't have a nice time. So, there you go. But we have we make hamburgers and hot dogs, and if I find bratwurst that I am willing to eat, I will also buy bratwurst or Italian sausages. And even though they're not the cleanest of ingredients, I might just pick up the Italian sausages from Costco. Boy, my brain's on the fritz. I told you I was tired. So, hey, just Jen Delaney, any more questions? Because it was kind of high level on the history, but I hope it was good. Maybe one day we'll actually make the chocolate sauce. It's really super easy. So, oh, and Jennifer says we could add chocolate syrup if it's not chocolatey enough. I think the icing would be nice on them if you like icing. I am going to eat them as is. I think they're good. The taste and texture is fine. It's just very light chocolate. Where I was thinking intense, like deep intense chocolate, which not a lot of chocolate cakes are, so I think actually it's pretty good for like regular old chocolate cake. And I'm gonna buy this. I think it's good. Let's oops. Oh, sorry, dog. Let me double check these. Let's see. So it says 8 servings per container, and I have 12, so it'll be a little less, but oh, holy, Guacamole. Oh my God. Okay. It's 14 grams of erythritol and 7 grams of fiber and 23 total carbs. It gives me a heart attack every time. If you have issues with erythritol, you'll have to keep that in mind. It's a lot of total carbs. So, but if you are a net carber, it's not too bad. But, so a special treat. Oh, and Carrie said he wonders if they make a non-chocolate version. Oh, that's a good question. We'll have to look that up, won't we? And just Jen is saying, could you put that chocolate cake in a mini donut mold? You sure could. You know what? I have tons of silicone chocolate, or tons of silicone donut molds and mini bundt cake molds, and honestly, you could bake it in any form you want. I think, ooh, you're right. That's what they taste like. Chocolate cake donuts. You know how they're just like very lightly chocolate, but cakey? That's it. Oh, and Hungry He says they have found a really clean pork Italian sausage at Sprouts. Framani was the product name. Oh yeah, we don't have Sprouts here in Ohio though. So, or if we do, we don't have Sprouts near me in Ohio. If it's somewhere else, I haven't heard of it. And Carrie says I could have made chocolate donuts. I could have, but you know what? I'm liking the cupcake. Oh, and Sharon says make the KC birthday cake as a fudge and spread it on top. A thin layer would be really good. And of course you could add sprinklers. So, or sprinkles. Renee, I did miss your suggestion about, let me read back for it. Oh, maybe split and toss with some butter with breakfast. Ooh, yes. Actually, we could try some butter on it. I have my counter butter. Let's see. Oh, and Tutu Cat said Sean is in charge of the fudge. On what? On our communal keto. And Mike Sandy said his go-to cake for birthday is raspberry almond torte cake with a ganache icing. Possibly we could make a keto version. I bet we could. I'm sure we could actually, but honestly, I think this with just like a raspberry whipped cream or a raspberry jam in there would be awesome. I also think peanut butter would go really nicely on it. Oh, the butter is really good. I could be craving butter though. We did a lot yesterday, and being out in the sun all day means I've been craving fat, so my body is doing some extra work. So hard to say. I think it tastes good. I usually think that it could be whipped up, actually browned butter whipped up would be also quite delicious. Oh, I like the idea. Let's see. I'm missing some things here. Let's see. Oh, Carrie says he has a friend that sent him a job opening at the company he works for that's remote. So he's redoing his resume to apply. Oh, good luck. I'm glad that they're giving you a reference. Oh, and Renee says, always happy to add some butter. Kerrygold addict. You know what? I do love Kerrygold, and I also like the grass-fed from Costco, but for being generic butter, BJ's Wellesley brand of butter, man, I don't know. I really love it. It's like super salty, which I enjoy. I know there are people who don't love the extra saltiness of Kerrygold, and they look for the unsalted, but not me. The saltier, the better. I love extra salty butter. So it also gets like really, really soft very fast. So, and it's cheap. Oh, and Carrie says, yeah, that he uses the regular salted butter from Kroger. It's good and he can afford it. Yeah. Oh, and L Strange has been craving pickles. Had a few shots of pickle juice after mowing. Oh yeah, that heat and all that hard yard work, that's definitely got to be depleting your electrolytes through your sweat. So that makes sense. Uh, hey, and pickles are delicious. So, chow down and enjoy. And 22Q Cat agrees. More salt in the butter. Carry gold. So, yeah, you can always let Kroger butter come to temperature, and then whip it with a little bit of extra salt, and it makes the flavor pop. It's really literally just adding a little salt, but if you whip it up and it's all nice and soft, and mix in. Oh, and then Carrie made another joke. Then she would be a big deal with the pickle juice. I can't remember. There was a joke that I had, and it just went away. You guys, I'm not all there today. So, anyways, yeah. So we did the big parade, and then this Wednesday is we start going to Origins Game Fair. I work with a group teaching some crafting. This year I have a pattern for people to whip stitch together some crochet squares to make a tote bag, and then I'll be also teaching people how to make a D20 pendant. D20 is a type of dice, and we'll be making it the cage for it out of chainmail. I've got a lobster claw clasp so that you can take it on and off, and then so if you want your special D20, you can always keep it with you, and then you can just take it off and use it. Hey, Dennis Williamson, nice to see you. Oh, he saw Carrie Gold Butter offered at a food bank. That's nice. My kid got some Borson cheese that they'd been giving away at the food bank. So where they volunteer, and that they were like, "Hey, I remember when you made this on your YouTube." And I guess they had so much of it they couldn't give it all away within the time frame, so they gave some of it to the volunteers, and then also sent some of it out to some of the shelters. I don't know where they got that much Borson cheese, but I was like, wow, that's a lot of Borson cheese on a very short expiration. So, oh, and Renee's asking how many squares did I end up making. So 100 and wait, let's see, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, let's see, 130, 143. So, oh, and Dennis just had a Borson morsel. Man, I love Borson. That is some tasty, tasty stuff. It's a danger food in this house because I have trouble, normally I don't have trouble like controlling myself with cheese. I eat just a little bit and I'm good. But Borson is so tasty, it's hard not to eat the entire little circle. Hey, Keto Simple, good to see you. Look, you missed everything. We're already halfway through our mocha and halfway through our cupcake. But just so you know, I'm a big yes on King Arthur chocolate cake. It is high on total carbs though. Most of the carbs being from erythritol. And Lisa agrees, Borson is dangerous. It's so good with pork rinds. It is. Hey, Joyce daughter, nice to see you. Hello from Utah. Oh, I hope that, does that mean you get to go to the Keto Chow headquarters direct? I've always wanted to make the trip down there to see Chris and Miriam and all of the other awesome keto people. Lynette is like a huge community staple as well. I think she's like the greatest. So, more agreement about Borson and pork rinds. Oh, and Renee bought several Scorpion Gouda chunks on their last trip to Aldi. The stuff doesn't last when she opens it. Yep. Oh, and Keto Simple says he thinks he's seen it in stores. He loses track. Yeah, there are a lot of products. We decided to make it tonight and test it out since it was in the Keto Crate. And I gotta say, I'm not unhappy. other than thinking about how many total carbs I'm eating. But I have to say it's very sating, so I'm not that worried about it. And I did a crap ton of effort yesterday, so we're fine. Oh, and Joy lives about 40 miles south of the Keto Chow, so it's definitely not that far. So that's good. Oh yeah, so back to Origins Game Fair. So we're gonna go there next week, and I do that, but we're gonna play so many games. I've been seeing some of the manufacturers talking about their prototype games, and they look very exciting. So I am going to be so thrilled to play lots of games. Plus, some of the people that I collaborate with for OhioCon will also be at Origins. So we've been talking about when and where we can meet up. One of the local restaurants, Barley's, is a big supporter, and they always have special glasses that with your badge, when you buy a meal there, you get a free pint glass. Oh, and Air Friday Nanny says for a second she heard Oregon Game Fair, and she knew it wasn't right. Yeah, no, it's Origins, like Origins. So, unfortunately, I'm not making a whole trip to Oregon. That would be spectacular, but not quite. So, I hope that I get into a couple playtesting RPGs, but I'm not sure how that's going to go. So that's kind of has to set aside a large chunk of time. And while I do love playing some RPGs, I don't know that I'm willing to set aside a 4-hour block out of my free time. I say, except for that, I'll probably set aside a 4-hour block of my free time to play some board game. So let's see. Oh, and Brenda had the dairy-free Borson last week. They did a good job. So, oh, you can't digest many of the soft cheeses. What about the, yeah, so not like the Borson because that's cow's cheese. I'm glad that the dairy-free is good reviewed. That's nice to hear because a lot of people have issues. But can you do goat cheeses? Let's see. Oh, and Air Fried Nanny says 110 days to 2023 Keto Palooza. So, oh, and 107 until she gets to Sharon Holloway's. Nice. Oh, fiddlesticks. What was I saying? Origins. Before Keto Palooza, I'll be going to Gen Con and MatsuriCon. So I am hitting the events this summer like crazy. I don't know how I'm going to do it because we've got, like I said, we just have, we had Pride weekend, and then we have, coming up, we have, like I said, Origins, and then immediately into Holiday, and then we just have a couple weeks in between before Gen Con. And as a reminder, if you want to pony up for Fogo de Chao in Indianapolis on Saturday, August 5th at 3 p.m., let me know. Just send me a Facebook IM, and I will add your number to the table I'm going to reserve. Air Fried Auntie, of course. We will talk more about KPL. Oh, and Keto Simple says we need to sell more tickets to KPL, that there are over 100 tickets left, maybe. Okay, duly noted. It is June, and we have a little bit of time, so if you need to save up your dollars to get your ticket, do it. It is a really awesome convention, so we definitely need to. I think it's a convention well worth supporting because of the way it fosters community and how wonderful it is. When they say a keto family reunion, that's very true. Getting there, it's yes, they have guests. Yes, they have all of the guest speakers and everything, but that's not what makes Keto Palooza awesome. The guests are nice to haves. The camaraderie that you get from spending time together and just validating each other. Is that the right word? I think so. Validating and uplifting each other is gold. That is what happens at Ketopalooza, and that is what makes it a really worthwhile conference and convention to go to. I can't say enough nice things about it. So, yeah, I definitely think that if you want to go, it's worth it, worth every penny. So, oh, and Renee says goat cheese in their poppers is the best. I do like goat cheese in the poppers. They are really good, but I like actually to mix sausage in with the goat cheese as well, and that's really good. And Keto Simple says just looking forward to hanging out with everyone. Yep. And Lisa agrees, validation is priceless. Oh, let's see. Oh, Cat. Yes, downtown Indy will be crazy during Gen Con. 100%. The good news is that you can circumvent a lot of the Gen Con crazy because Fogo de Chao is not right there. It's a little bit further out. It's out beyond the Monument Circle area. And so it's outside the bubble. So it won't be as bad if you're only going to Fogo de Chao and you're not trying to go downtown proper. If you're anywhere near if you're at the convention center, yeah, you're right. Forget it. It'll take you half an hour to just hopefully someone gets out of a parking space. But if you circumvent the convention center square and go to Fogo de Chao, it'll be fine. There's plenty of parking there, and you'd get in and out without an issue. So, I will also tell you that while a lot of Gen Con people love to go to Fogo de Chao, it's weirdly less busy on Saturday, and even less busy at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, because Gen Con attendees buy the place out on Friday night. So they have already had their fill of the meateria. That's what I call it, the meat fountain of glory. So it's not so bad. You could easily, it's navigatable. I'm enjoying this, but now I'm like having like a sweet overload, and I'm like, I think I'm done with the sweet part. So. Oh, and Renee is telling me she thinks the dishes being left in the sink was worth the memories made with my friends. I agree. It probably was, but boy, did I regret it this morning because I came into the kitchen and I was like, oh, what a mess. So, and I was none too pleased to have to deal with it. So, yep. All right, guys, it is approaching that time. And Cat says Fogo de Chao is so good. It is, man. They are really tasty. I can hardly wait. I am so looking forward to it. So, like I said, so if you want to go, let me know. Hit me up, and I will add the number to my table. I don't have like a large quantity, so it's not like 20 people or anything. It's like 5 or 6. So, yeah. Oh, and Jess Delaney wants to go to Fogo de Chao. It's the bomb. It's really good. It is, it's probably my favorite of all of those Brazilian steakhouses. Oh, and Air Fry Nanny says I'm leaning on the counter a little more than usual. So I hope, yeah, I'm probably going to go to bed after the live stream. I know it's only 7:30, but I am DONE done. Oh, and Just Jen will wear her dragon dress. Oh, that does sound awesome. And hey, Mike. Oh, good. And I will chat with you again later in the week. So I'm going to see you guys all. Thanks, everybody, for coming and spending time with me. And I hope that you liked making cupcakes and learning about mocha history and drinking mocha with me. So you all have a great evening. Good night, all. Look, I can't even shut my live stream off. I'm so tired. All right. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.